is encountered during the survey is when the respondent is unwilling to cooperate, especially on the APIS round. The distance between sample households wherein the terrain is very rugged and weather condition is bad. Action taken is to ensure a high response rate of the survey, exert the serious attempt to win the trust and confidence of the respondent.
In negros oriental, we have 5 commercial sample landing centers. 4 will be in traditional and 1 sample managed by LGU Bayawan. All sample in commercial landing centers were located in the southern part of the province. While in municipal fish landing centers, all sample were traditional and located throughout the province. 7 landing centers in 1st district, 3 landing centers in 2nd district, and 6 landing centers in 3rd district. And inland municipal, we have 5 sample barangays. In a barangay, the inland fishing activity were done in river, dam, and lakes. While in aquaculture, it is establishment-based. We have 5 sample barangays in brackish water, 5 sample barangays in fish water, 32 sample farmers in seaweeds, 8 sample farmers in oyster, 3 sample establishment in fish kits, and other auxiliary samples. We have some difficulties found after the survey in first quarter and second quarter. The newly captured species with different local names, as we had to translate it to English.
The enhanced PCPS has new set of samples from the 2012 CAF and the 2017 CAF sampling frame. Lack of personnel to supervise the SRs was a very big challenge due to the overlapping of activities of the personnel. Only 2 PSO staff were able to supervise 4 SRs in 5 sample barangays. Although critical sample barangays were replaced, other replacements also have peace and order problems. So the SR followed the protocol to have a courtesy call at the barangay and also attended the barangay meeting so that the objectives of the survey will be properly disseminated to the officials and also proper coordination will be done. Some SRs were also accompanied by the barangay tanod or other officials during the survey to ensure their safety. However, for other areas which are impenetrable, the barangay captain called the sample households to the barangay so that the interview will be conducted there.
Our main difficulties with this project is the sourcing of the reliable and honest goodness respondents, most especially for the purposive surveys. It is difficult to locate or to make available truly reliable and realistic respondents for the data that we need. Another problem is the resources for the data gatherers like the SRs. While they expend most for the activity, and the problem that arise this year wherein there is a little budget for the traveling has also an impact on the quality of the data that we are gathering. The more challenge is the generation of the up-to-date or timely, reliable and accurate data that is to be gathered in these activities. So our action plan to address this challenge, we hope to update the statistical data of the municipalities and capacitate the frontline data collectors and sourcing funds corresponding to their needs.
In the commercial livestock and poultry survey, as well as the backyard livestock and poultry survey, there are difficulties in getting the desired data from the respondents, like late sending and sometimes erroneous passing system from the central office, and sometimes sending updates at very hectic schedules with no ample time to correct the errors. Incomplete records of slaughterhouses reports from the LGUs, and the difficulties in locating the farmers in the BLPS for the new frame, with which the terrain and the peace and order problem is almost impossible to penetrate, considering the distance from sample to sample, most especially in the hinterland barangays. Our action plan is notifying the central office as to the malfunctioning of the processing system SEM and coordinating with the LGUs in locating the problematic sample respondents. The very essence is to make action timely and at a considerable pace, exploring and challenging our limitations just to adhere and beat the deadline in every activity and task assigned to us, and sometimes defying the odds just to get the desired results.
Kaibigan, usap tayo. The quarterly survey on Philippine business and industry is one of the designated statistical activities of the PSA, which aims to collect data on employment, compensation, value of production, total revenue, total inventory of goods, and capacity utilization. Results of QSPPI will serve as inputs in the estimation of quarterly national accounts and quarterly economic indicators, which ensures the performance of Philippine economy. For the province of Negros Oriental, we only have one major problem encountered, and that is delayed collection of the questionnaires of some sample establishments, because they still have to wait for closing of accounts and their final audited financial statements. For our action plan, we need to have constant follow-up through phone and personal appearance at the sample establishments.
As far as collector, my common difficulties that I experience is the unit of measure for bundles and for piece, and in dealing with the moody respondents during the peak hours. So it is a big challenge for me during my collections, and in order to solve this problem, one of my best and effective strategy is to purchase or buy some of their commodities so that I can also find time to measure the unit and kilograms of different commodities, especially kangkong and bananas, and also classifying different specification of the product. Thank you.
In our province, we usually encounter problems on locating some of the establishments, while some would not even accept the questionnaires, so we send this to the post office. The late submission of questionnaires is rampant, even if we stamp them as urgent, and to submit this in time to avoid penalty under Public Act 1625, Section 27. One establishment had signified not to comply and even wrote to this office regarding his rights under the Data Privacy Act of 2012. We replied by citing Office Memorandum Number 2019-1993 on the subject adoption of data privacy statements in PSA households and establishment-based survey census questionnaires. Our last resort is to implement the Census Compliance Project, or CCP, for establishment who refuse to submit timely and accurate information. First time in Negros Oriental. Thank you.
The conduct of 2017 to 2019 geotagging activity is a component of the continuous rolling scheme for updating of maps, which is expected to be completed prior to the conduct of the 2020 Census of Population and Housing. For the purpose of the updating activity of digitized maps, to come up with the accurate, up-to-date, and dynamic digitized enumeration area base maps, and to construct base maps to be utilized in the 2019 enumeration area delineation activity. For our province, we have 747 sample EAs to be geotagged, and as of today, July 24, we are already 100% completion of our sample.
activities conducted by the PSA Negros Oriental for the first semester of 2019 are conduct of a motorcade in several streets of Dumaguete City during the opening of the Civil Registration Month. Conduct of info dissemination on civil registration to 7 public high schools. Assistance to mobile registration and kasalan ng bayan. Conduct of SO seminars in Bayawan City and Dumaguete City. Conduct of CRBS 101 seminar in Canlaon City and to the CRA's associates for PSA Negros Oriental. Conduct of info dissemination on civil registration and the issuance of PhilSys ID with the senior citizens of Barangay Kangmating with the local civil register. With a huge number of operations for the second semester, civil registry section of PSA Dumaguete will strive hard to maintain the activities we have performed and shall coordinate with other sections of this province to help us perform the different tasks, especially that we have to submit the civil history documents and the data files on the 30th day after the reference month.